I'm watching this documentary that it's really tough for me to get through because, well, for one, I think anybody would be triggered by this. It's a documentary about a cult, but it's particularly difficult for me to get through because I feel that my previous church was, in fact, a sort of a mini cult. I guess it could be categorized as a sort of mega church, but it's a bit of a triggering subject matter when you consider there are people in this world that will present themselves as spiritual leaders only to come around and try to take your power away from you and make it their own, as well as your money, as well as your bodily autonomy. They'll tell you, who you're supposed to sleep with, who you're supposed to, be friends with, what you're supposed to eat, think, all that jazz. But in the beginning, they don't start out like that. In the beginning, they just kind of tell you what you want to hear. So this cult that this documentary about a cult I'm looking into is called Twin Flame Universe. And it's a little bit extra bothering me because, as you guys know, just from looking at my channel, I'm pretty new agey. I'm a Reiki master. I work with crystals. I consider myself a witch. I consider myself a witch because, I'm just going to be honest with you, I like the idea of cackling over a cauldron and being a spooky, spooky Halloween witch, But also because the term witch is somebody who basically bends reality or uses magic to bend reality or thinks they can use magic to bend reality. Whether or not you think it's real, that's up to you. But it's a little weird whenever there's cults that pop up and they come up with new age talking points and then they turn out to be a cult. That kind of sucks. That's not fun, because then, if you are into new age stuff, people lump you in with them. Now, I like the term soulmate, okay? Because it's the mate to your soul. That's the person that is your person to be with, and you're their person to be with, and you guys are partners, right? But I guess that wasn't cool enough for the New Age community. I guess after a while they wanted something more mysterious sounding, so the term twin flame came up. They didn't 100% discredit the term soulmate, but it got sort of demoted to you could have a special friend that's your soulmate. I mean, your dog could be your soulmate, But twin flame, now that's something magical. That's the person you have sex with that is your person. Now, that's pretty romantic and everything, but it gets weird with this cult when the person that you got your eyes fixed on turns around and says, no, thank you. And what ended up happening was these ladies, because it looks like this is a cult comprised of desperate older ladies, or ladies over what society deems as in their prime. You don't see any young 22-year-old girls joining this cult, is what I'm trying to say, And if you do, this youngster is probably really isolated and doesn't get out much, like I was when I was in that age. But anyway, the idea of the twin flame kind of bothers me because wasn't the term soulmate good enough? Can you just say true love? Oh no, that's not good enough. Now let's make it twin flame. Oh no, that's not good enough. Let's call it my crystal star partner. No, that's not good. When are we gonna, this is getting dumb. This is getting dumb. Anyway, so it bugs me to be lumped in as a new age person with cults. But then again, I remember feeling the same thing when I was a Christian, because there were plenty of Christian cults. There's pagan cults, there's Christian cults, there's MLM cults. Hell, there was even a Final Fantasy cult, and I highly, highly recommend you check that one out, because that Final Fantasy cult, I wouldn't think you could form a cult based on Final Fantasy, but apparently you could form a cult based on LuLaRoe. Don't give anybody else your power. Nobody tells you what to do with you. You decide what to do with you. And if you want to use crystals to make that decision, if you want to use your spirit guide, if you want to read your Bible, if you want to jump up and down on the bed, if you want to take a shit in the middle of your living room and then read the lines of the poop, it doesn't fucking matter. You're the one to make the decision. The fact that this cult, and if you look it up, they even had women like, oh, you're not really heterosexual, you're gay. It's like, bro, nobody's allowed to tell anybody else that. Or, oh, you have to transition. What? Like, really, at this point, the dude, and you can tell, he's just playing. He's just playing with these chicks. He's just kind of saying, I wonder if I can make her shave her head. Kind of like Onision used to do. You know, it's like, ooh, you're mine to toy with. I'm going to make you get a tattoo that says, I'm an ugly girl. I'm a dirty bitch. And that's what you get for thinking for yourself. Like, cult leaders are really fucked up people. And you can tell just from this guy, I call him Lit Jeebus. Lit Jeebus, because he has, there's footage of him circulating where he says, like, he's literally, these are his words, he goes, I'm literally Jesus. I'm literally Jesus. I mean, I got the hair, I got the beard, I'm literally Jesus. And I'm like, bro, Lit Jeebus. That's a referential joke that only I will get, but there was a dude named Lit Poppy who played at Fousey Tube's big event, and it was cringe, and so he's Lit Jeebus. Lit Jeebus. Praise Jeebus. Praise the Lit Jeebus. He's gonna tell me to cut off my tatas. And it was funny because there was an interview where the journalist basically confronted the dude. His name is Jeff Devine. Was like, hey, so did you try to force women to transition? No. It was all in fun. It was just fun. It's like, hey, maybe you're a guy. Yeah, okay, great. Let me go get surgery and cut off my tatas just for fun. Where's the kitchen knife? You know, come on. Let's see if it's fun to be a guy. Like, no, that's not how transitioning is supposed to work. But just all around triggering documentary. I highly recommend anybody who's fascinated with the cringe of cults, because that's what cults are. They're just cringe. They're not scary. They're just embarrassing that anyone would actually fall for. Like, my husband watches this YouTube channel, or I think it's Facebook, YouTube, one of the social medias, where this guy opens these packs, and he spends ridiculous amounts of money. And when he opens the pack, usually if there's nothing good in it, you hear, oh, wow, you should have kept it sealed. Or, oh, wow, you actually got something good. It's gamer nonsense. But the frustrating thing about that content creator is this guy will spend like $700 on like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or on like Pokemon cards. Open it up and find cards that are like worth like $5 altogether. It's like, bro, you spent $700 on an unopened pack and you only got $500 back. That is infuriating. I can't watch that. I can't watch somebody give away their money like that and not get anything back. It's very frustrating to me. So my husband puts that on just to bug me. And I'm like, turn that off. And that's kind of the way I feel about watching this documentary about the cult. I'm like, why did you give this person this much power over you and you only got like $3 worth of anything back? Why would you do that? So just don't give your power away. Don't do that. Don't let anybody tell you what to do with yourself. You belong to you. You know, you belong to yourself. It's just cringe the way these girls were like, oh, I just wanted to be happy. And I'm like, yeah, but so you let this clown with a beard and dirty hair tell you what you need? What makes you think he's got any answers? Dude's never had a freaking real job, apparently, from what I understand. He gives work advice, but he's not in the workforce, you know? It's like, who is he to tell other people what to do. The reason why a lot of people follow Jesus was because theoretically, according to the story, he had magical powers. He turned water into wine. He fed thousands of people with only like a handful of food. You know what I mean? He raised people from the dead. This guy didn't even do that. All he did was grow out a neck beard and grow out his hair, which it looks like he might be losing a little bit, you know, on the sides there. Like, I don't understand it. Like, why do people give away their power like that? That really bothers me. But then again, you know, I look back at the days when my family was involved with the church, and I was like, you know what? Of course, I was in high school at the time, but not too long ago, I was ready to give up my power. Sometimes I don't even know if I'm 100% immune to this stuff. This is why I watch documentaries and stuff like this, and because I'm trying to get myself to a point where I am not so dumb that I am going to give away my power. I'm not going to buy $700 unopened Yu-Gi-Oh cards deck. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to give away some dude. I'm not going to give my sexuality to some dude just because he's got hair that looks like it needs to be washed and an ugly ass neck beard. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand it, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's good that I don't understand it, but I could probably have understood it better if I was closer to age 16, when there was a point where I wanted to be an evangelist, you know? I don't know. I think religion just in general, and he creates religion. You know, I think religion in general just makes you give up your power in the worst way to another human being that gets pimples and has bad breath and farts and makes mistakes just like you do. Why would you do that? It just doesn't make sense. Also, I hope you guys like my hair. It's more blue instead of the green.